So last night I had a dream. I was being chased by someone. I'm not sure who it was, but I was running, and then I ran into this building and I ran upstairs. And once I ran all the way up those stairs, as I'm running upstairs, like, this is dumb. Why are you running up these steps? They're going to get you. But I ran up the steps, I shut the door, and when I shut the door, I seen people sitting down eating food. And so I went and sat down too. And once I sat down, everybody, we just got beamed up. And right before I got all the way into the chariot, I woke up. And the feeling I got when I was getting beamed up and watching everybody else get beamed up was, I don't know if you've ever been to a drive-through at a bank and you see the teller and you have to call the teller and they send this little object down. So when you finish and you put your check in there and they suck it up like that, that's how it felt. It was like really fast and swift the way we got banged up. It's like, I'm telling you, that dream got me. I woke up because it was like, dang, we almost out of here. We almost out of here.
This was Solomon chapter 5 verse 2. And when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. I want to give all praises, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. A mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit, teaching his word and believing in his word. Shalom to the Akwatiyim. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent, virtuous wife, and Lord willing, the Most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Salaki for those that's listening to this video. Somebody just came and just started blasting music, but guess what? Teaching in season, out of season, regardless if spirits come around, ignorant spirits, this is what this truth is about, man. So Lord willing, this is the motivation you get. My second wife had a dream, and it's amazing. She had this dream when me and the brother Yarmayan, the head of the camp, was speaking right before we got out of work early about the kingdom, how beautiful it's going to be, how much peace we're going to be at, how our wives is going to be in order, right? That how a man is going to be a man, right? The power that you're going to have, be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. We don't know what it feel like to have freedom, and we was really thinking about it. What about, being in the kingdom and having these old thoughts, but let alone the experience of getting beamed up, being changed? How does that look like? We see in the scriptures going to be a change like a twinkling of an eye. And how she was describing the bank thing, I remember, if you go to the drive-through and you depositing, you getting paperwork or whatever it is in the bank. And I think they used to do that at Walmart, at Rite Aid. I could be mistaken. And they shoot it through a tube, and by the time it delivered to you, it stops and come nice and peaceful. So it's another precept that I thought of when it came to her dream. And this is in Bel the Dragon. There's only one book in there. I'm going to start at verse 32. It says, in the den there were 7 lions, and they had given them every day 2 carcasses and 2 sheep, which then were not given to them, to the intent they might devour Daniel. Now there was a jury, a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of Yahweh Shemashai said unto Habakkuk, go, carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. Then the angel of Yahweh Shemashai took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head and through the vehemence of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. And Habakkuk cries, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which the Most High have sent thee. Now, how he grabbed him in the head is, like when somebody fighting and a female or a dude put somebody here, it hurt. It's just going off of the beam of the chariot. Like if you ever watch certain movies, let me see, I think Transformers, I think Black Panther, especially the second one, where they get beamed up in a beamed up in and I would call a chariot, their freaking chariot, whatever it is, you're in a position where you could go into the ship and it just beams you up without a tube, without grabbing you. I don't know how to describe it. It's either a force of air and get beamed up. So he's in that area getting beamed up, and it's so hard to describe it, but you could tell he's not complaining, so he's peaceful, just the same way she described it. And he probably was just still, he wasn't in the chariot, he was just in the area where you get beamed up, and the chariot flew to where the lion den was at, dropped him off to go feed Daniel. And really with this dream, what got me thinking is the elect is thinking on the kingdom, man. Hopefully, Lord willing, my household is of that number. But these is the spiritual discernments that we get. Like, Lord willing, I'm one of those, right? Because lately, let me get this one. This is Joel 2:28, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Right? And even having these dreams and these visions, having spiritual discernment, spiritual excitement, right? What is it? 1 Corinthians 2:14. Let me get that real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. Some people not about to get this dream that my wife had. Oh, the Chariots. What's the Chariots? The UFOs, man. The government been seeing them. Other countries been seeing them, right? And then they call them UFOs or UAPs, right? You might not have the discernment to know what they are, and when you look in the sky, which one is a chariot and which one is a plane. But when you go to Genesis, the 28th chapter, verse 10 to 12, the angels ascend and descend from the earth to heaven to the earth. And a lot of them is coming down in a chariot, because let's go into the prophet Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel, the first chapter. I believe the first two chapters, they go into it. This is Ezekiel chapter 1, and I'm going to start at 15. It says, Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth was a living Salaki upon the earth by the living creatures with his four faces. The appearance of the wheel and of their work was like unto the color of beryls, and they four had likeness in their appearance. In their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures was lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Right? So these wheels is chariots. So wherever the creatures or angels, wherever they move, the chariot move, right? Verse 20, it says, whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was there a spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, and the spirit of the living creature was in the wheel. And the chariot is alive, is a living being, right? It's truly connected to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, again, it would be so amazing to get beamed up in a chariot, especially in the time that we in right now. This is not living, you know. But Lord willing, this is motivating you, you know, to cherish the moment that we have right now, which is this truth, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Lord willing, that you grow through the Spirit, go closer to the Lord. You know, the chariots is a mystery to the world. Actually, let me get one more that just came to mind. And I think it is Second Kings 2. This is 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 11. This is dealing with Elijah and Elisha. It says, and it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. Salaki, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen, because horse is going into power, right? Horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more. And he took hold of his own clothes and rent them into two pieces, right? Because Elisha wanted a double portion. He said, Elijah said, if you see me go, then he will, you know, fulfill what he asked. But if he don't, you know, if you don't see me, I don't know what to tell you. But Elisha got to see him get beamed up. And he was saying, my father, the chariots of Israel. Because even back then, when we saw him, we were connected to Yahweh Shem Shai. So it wasn't like, oh my goodness, what is that? But this new ministry now, this new song is new to the world. But this truth is not new. This is very ancient. It's very old. But it's new to this side, especially for the Israelites, because we've been without the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for 300 plus years. 350 plus years without the wisdom, knowledge, understanding. So when you hear somebody say UFOs, UAPs, of course you, oh, wait, man, what's that? And then if you do say it, oh, man, what the heck is that? What is that? You don't know. You don't have the understanding. The knowledge is taken from us. But now you got men of the Lord that have experience of seeing them. Now, even though my second wife is having, this is a dream, right, that she's seeing, but in real reality, me and my brothers, we post videos of us seeing chariots. YouTube, TikTok is a real thing. Especially you got to have faith and believe. But if you've been around and you know what planes look like, you know they blink the sensor lights for other planes. But planes, most of them, the highest they going is 33,000 miles, 33,000 miles in the air. But these chariots are so far, some of them dim. Some of them, you'll see a color and then they'll flash out of nowhere, disappear out of nowhere, going freaking supersonic speed, or the speed of a dang rocket, or a missile, if we want to be, you know, better at, right? These things ain't making circles to turn around. We seen chariots go forward and then come back the other way. An airplane has to do a whole oval to turn around. Damn near all planes that's made in the air have to damn near do a whole oval. What plane is going forward and then going right backwards? Just like how you drive a car forward and you drive it backwards. What plane is doing that at the same speed it's doing forward and backwards? What about seeing a chariot go forward and then hurry up and make a left turn quick? Not no oval, a straight left turn. When we can keep going in these beasts, where it just said in Ezekiel, especially the angels, that even the chariot itself, that with the angels having four heads, that they don't have to turn. Even with the chariots, it don't have to turn. It can go straight, back, left, right. That's cold, man. So it's exciting that she got to see, getting beamed up in a chariot and then woke up and then hit the record button and send it to me. That's the excitement you want. Having all these other dreams, dodgeball, getting killed, you at a party, all that dumb stuff, but having a dream of the kingdom. Who did that? Guess what? Let me get one more. Let me get this one. Right? That maybe that was her sealed instructions the Lord had for her. Right? We going to Job 33. This is Job 33, verse 14. For the Most High speaketh once, yet twice, yet man perceiveth it not, in a dream and in a vision of the night. Right? So the Lord had to be speaking. Now, we ain't going to believe we're not just believing in all dreams. Some of these dreams are inspired. Having spiritual discernment, it gives you confidence. It might make you do a lesson, right? It says, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men. So she had to be in a deep sleep, in slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of men and seal their instructions, right? So he sealed this in her head, and guess what? He moved her. Man's going to the Lord to do a recording, to send it, and now it became a video. Right? So brothers, eventually soon you're going to know, you're going to taste freedom. You're going to taste it like you can't taste air, but you're going to taste it like you taste food, man. Freedom is about to be the Israelites' new reality, man. The norm. So I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. Mighty Shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word. Shalom to the Akwatiyam, believers of His faith and His truth. Continue to pursue your lot. And Lord willing that y'all all continue to endure and be sincere in the same Spirit and in sound doctrine. And Lord willing to most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Shalom. Shalom. Abba, Abba.